we've sprung a leak. It's not a big leak, it's not a dangerous leak, it's not going to be too bad, but it is a leak nonetheless, and there's water inside the boat, and that's not good, so we're going to find out where it's coming from and how to fix it. Welcome back to the rudder. I don't know if you can tell, I'm in the bow cab and we have a leak. I hope you can see it just in the corner here. A bit wet, and you can see the marking above it. I've got some photos here. I've cleaned it up a little bit and I've cleaned myself up a bit. There was quite a lot of water in that corner, and down here, if you didn't know, there's a little storage space under the bow cab cushion. So in here, and there's, if you take that off, there's the bow thruster under there. So there was about 1 centimetre of water sort of sloshing around in there. The only reason we notice this is, and you can only tell it because you know, I've got all the cushions away, but when the cushion was on there and our mattress topper, we couldn't actually see anything. So we got back from a trip and it rained a little bit, and there was some more rain after that, and there's a bit of a musty smell in the bow cab, so I was trying to find out. Then discovered that marking and then the water, which was actually directly under the bed. Not a great place to have water. So immediately cleaned all that up, and I've had everything open trying to air it out. It has dried it out a little bit. It is a little bit damp, but you can definitely tell, you know, from that mark just in there, we had a lot of water sort of, well, not, you know, coming through this space. So this is the bow cab. Directly behind this mirror is the anchor well. So the bow comes down, got the bow thruster directly underneath us. So it must be something happening, well, in the anchor well. So what we're going to do, I don't know how long this video is going to take to put together. I'm going to just try doing some water tests. The thing is, I think it's really slow. I don't know from where water's got a bad habit of just sort of getting in and can flow quite a long way. So I'll do a bit of a test, wait a bit, see if any water appears. Another test, wait a bit. It's not going to make for a great video, so I'll try and sort of explain what I'm doing and go up top. But I'm going to start on the deck. And just under there, there's a little ledge. You might be able to see a lot of anchor, and I think, see, the mirror's just in under there, behind this wall, and there's a little ledge down there. So I think something's happening there. But before I get straight to that bit, I want to check everything up top. So I'm going to spray gently some water across the deck, around all the fittings where there's penetrations, where there's screw holes, to see if that could be the issue first. Nothing comes through then, I'll sort of gently spray into the top of the anchor well, and so on and so forth. Moving on down, these sorts of things are really can be tricky, can be super frustrating, because you just don't know if you're getting the right bit. As far as I can tell, the mirror in the headboard there is quite hard to get off. Let's go back in. So what I have found is there's a little bit of a gap in under here, but you cannot get these headboards off. They're glued in there, which makes tracking it from this side really, really difficult. So because you can't get the headboard off, it does make tracking it from this side, from inside the bow cab, really difficult. So yeah, we'll just have to go with a little bit of water and wait, a little bit of water and wait. Also, just to let you know, and this is one of the awesome things about the Merry Fisher community, put up on Facebook and said, I've got this leak, I don't know what's happening. A few people have given me some ideas. A couple of people have had a crack in the flow layer, the last layer of the fiberglass, which has caused an issue. I can't see anything immediately, but I'll just go through methodically. So that's the plan. As I say, I don't know when I'm going to get this video out, and just going to find out what's happening. Could be a bit of a long process. I'm not going to film everything because it'll be a bit boring, but I'll give you an update as soon as I know what's going on.
A few moments later.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit later in the day. I haven't really succeeded in finding anything, so I don't have much to update. It's going to be a longer process than I thought. I will hopefully make some progress over the next few days. There's some storms and things coming, so we'll see how we go. I'll let you know how we're going, and fingers crossed we can solve this one.
One eternity later.
Welcome back. It's been a while in the stupid hunt for the bow leak. Since I last saw you down in the bow cab, it's been a long delay. We've had to have a cyclone come through, or the arse end of a cyclone, a reverse hurricane. So that's been dumping literally hundreds of mils of water down here, which has led to quite a bit of, well, not crazy flooding in the bow, but you can certainly tell it's still in there. You might be able to see I've thrown all the chain overboard. I've put on a very bright shirt. I'm getting serious about this today because I want to get this thing solved. It's not a heck of a lot of water, but it does get water into that bow cab. Not good. That sits in there and gets musty and stinky, and because we've been locked up for so many weeks, we haven't been out in a long time, it does start to smell. So I've emptied all the chain out. I'm going to clean out the anchor locker and see what I can see in there. I'll take you inside and show you what we've got. Alright, coming inside, you can still see we're in cyclone prep mode. We've got everything stored in here. The bimney's still off. We'll flick around. I'm trying to air this all out. Obviously everything's pulled back. You can see still got the water damage and some tools. We've even got more water in there again. I cleaned that out before, but I guess I'll clean that out again. Now, this panel is still wet, and it will be wet again because I'm going to hose out the anchor cab. You can see here I've scraped up the fiberglass. I've used everything to try and get this panel off, and I just cannot get that panel off. Any tips down in the comments, let me know, but it is on there tight. You get in under here and it actually is like a void, so I don't know quite what happens under there. You can see it's like there's a void in under there. So yeah, you can kind of bent this one off a little bit, but it does feel like it's going to break. I'm not going to scratch the fiberglass up anymore. So the plan is I'm going to clean out the anchor locker, really give it a good scrub out so all that mud's out of there, and see if I can see anything. I've got my bright, Brooks' favourite Hawaiian shirt on. It's a new one, nice and bright. I'm feeling good. I'm going to get this thing solved, or at least have a good idea of what we need to get solved.
A few minutes later.
Alright, I've got a smile on my dial. I've got my bright shirt back on because I think I've got some headway. I've cleaned it all out, and well, I guess it's not good news, but I think I've found what our problem is. Let me take you down into the anchor locker. Alright, cleanest anchor locker since I've had it. Nice and good. Now you can see that line of silicone there. That's about where our problem is. Let me just crawl in there a little bit. You can see with my feet just here. Don't know if you can hear it or you can see it moving. As someone mentioned in the comments the first time round, is the flow layer of the fiberglass has come away. Obviously I'm not 100% sure, but that creaking and making a lot of noise certainly sounds like a break in the fiberglass there, and where something can get through. Also what happens is the flow from the anchor locker at the top here comes down to one point that basically goes on top of that crack. So I'm going to get a bucket load of silicone, put it along there, try and make it so we don't create a shelf for water to sit on, but I want the water to flow away. But I'm feeling good. If that's my problem, then it's fairly solvable. I'll get some silicone on. I'll get out of this shirt again. Got a few things to do today. Still doing cyclone cleanup, but I'm going to get that done and I'll show you what we end up with. Let's get in and solve this little crack we've got. We've had some lovely weather of late, as you can tell, after the cyclone, so the inside's drying out really well, and actually that headboard, almost the stains disappeared. I'm going to get in here and do the job today. I hate siliconing, but I've got my best clothes on, as you can see, so it's silicone time. What I've got is a hybrid. You know, it's made for windows and wet areas. It's an external product. It is clear, really doesn't matter what color it is. So that's a marine product made for external wet areas. What else have we got in here? Caulking gun, of course, heaps of paper towel, and little secret, this is detergent in water, so it's in a spray bottle, so you can spray that when you're trying to do your clean off and that final polish, and hopefully not get it all over your fingers. Another thing that you might be able to, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's super cramped working in here. I won't be able to really show you me doing the job because I'm going to have enough trouble fitting just myself and a caulking gun in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to do all this. Anyway, I'm going to get into it. The only other thing I've also got is a knife. I'm going to cut the tube so a lot comes out. I really want a lot of silicone down there to make a good sealant and try and really get it in that crack. And I'm going to put it along the whole of that ledge as well, in case there's any other little fractures or cracks that you can't see. Okay, I'm going to get down there. As I said, you won't be able to see it. It's not very exciting anyway, but I'll give you a look at the final product. Did I mention I hate siliconing and all this kind of stuff? This is awful. I'm down here working upside down. Alright, did I mention that siliconing is one of the jobs I hate the most out of doing everything? I'm hanging here upside down in the anchor well doing this job, and I'll show you what I've done. I come up with a bit of another guide as well, so there's the other bit, and you can see those containers there. That's just a plastic, it was a chlorine container, but almost like ice cream container. Had a nice sort of angle on it, so I used it to make an extra barrier. So there's a ton of silicone under that, and then also a silicone around it. I also use the detergent to make a kind of layer so it's smooth. Hopefully not too much stuff grows in it. Let's let that dry off, and then I'll put the anchor away, and hopefully we have solved the problem of the leaking in the bow cab. I hope that was useful. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. I'm sure there'll be a few comments on my siliconing. As I said, I bloody hate the job. So anyway, hopefully it's done the job. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on the Rudder and get out and do some boating. One last thing, just a super quick follow-up to after doing the fix and having a whinge about silicone and everything. We've had a heck of a lot of rain again. Half of Queensland's flooded. But the good news is I'm down here in the bow cabin, so we are dry. There's no water down there, and it's dried out through there. So it looks like we've got the leak done. We've had a lot of water through there. I have sprayed off the anchor after a few trips out. We've had the anchor go up and down on top of, landing on where the crack is, and nothing's come through. Excellent news. So it looks like we've got the leak licked.